You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report Scoreboard Show, podcast number 290.1, our daily update on high school, college, and professional sports news in Central Indiana. Your daily audio sports section every single weekday, sometime between 1 and 2 p.m.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Rosenquist now with 2 corners to go to break the hearts and dreams of Tremor Racing and Robert Schwartzman. I've got to be honest, I don't think it's there. I think this is going to be history. For the first time in 43 years, we're going to have a rookie on pole for the Indy 500.
Unbelievable. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we are so happy that you've chosen to spend part of your day with us. Today is May 19, 2025. It's a Monday. It's another day for Central Indiana sports, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from Madison Grant High School. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Coming up, we have Indy 500 qualifying results. The Fever opened their season on Saturday. The Pacers are heading into the Eastern Conference Finals, plus tons of college and high school scores and highlights from over the weekend. We will also hear from Indy pole winner Robert Schwartzman and Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever. Hey, before we go on, would you do us a huge favor and go subscribe to our YouTube page? Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. It's very easy to find. That way you won't miss a single segment. Speaking of which, along with all of our continued coverage of the Indy 500, the Pacers, and the Fever, which we will have all week, we'll have our 5 questions with Will Rutherford and our Colts report with Eli Edwards breaking down the Colts schedule week by week, and our IU report with Grant Schaus as the IU baseball team heads into the Big Ten tournament. In perhaps the strangest day in Indy 500 qualifying history, a rookie driver and a rookie team took the pole position for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. 25-year-old Israeli Robert Schwartzman has never run a race on an oval track, but he'll lead the field to the green flag Saturday at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He drives for Prima Racing, a team that has never run in an Indy 500 and couldn't even get Schwartzman out on the track on the first day of practice. Just astonishing.
It's unbelievable. Honestly, it's just a dream. I was dreaming about it. I was thinking about how does it feel, to take the pole position in Indy 500 with all of these fans, with people. But I was like, okay, yeah, you got to be realistic. Like, we're rookies. I'm a rookie. It's everything new. So it's going to be impossible. And I was like, but then when we came here, with step by step, getting better, better, and better. And the team did an amazing job. Honestly, I can't thank them. Everything was right. Everything was under control. And I had just a better and better car. And today, we finally managed to deliver it, the best performance I've ever had.
Of course, we'll be talking about Schwartzman and the 500 on the Central Indiana Sports Report. And we had our qualifying reaction with Dave Chanley, a stunned reaction late Sunday. Go find that one. Starting next to Schwartzman is two-time Indy champion Takuma Sato from Ray Hall Racing and two-time Indy runner-up Pato O'Ward from McLaren. The second row is Ganassi driver Scott Dixon and Alex Pillow sandwiching Felix Rosenquist. The third row is Foyt driver David Malukas, O'Ward's teammate Christian Lundgaard in the middle, and 2022 champion Marcus Ericsson on the outside of row 3. The fourth row is the most interesting with all 3 Penske cars, none of which participated in Sunday's qualifying. Scott McLaughlin will start 10th after he crashed in Sunday's morning practice. Two-time defending champion Joseph Newgarden and 2018 champion Will Power both failed inspection prior to qualifying and will start 11th and 12th. Hoosiers Connor Daly and Ed Carpenter will be starting on the inside of the 4th and 5th rows respectively. NASCAR star Kyle Larson starts from the outside of row 7. Elio Castro Neves will attempt to win his unprecedented fifth Indianapolis 500 from the outside of the eighth row, and 2024 500 champion Ryan Hunter-Reay will be on the outside of row 9 on Sunday. Renus VK survived the bump session of qualifying, edging teammate Jacob Abel of Louisville for the final spot. A lot was expected of the Indiana Fever coming into the 25 season. In Saturday's season opener, they showed us exactly why. The Fever completely dominated Chicago from start to finish with a balanced offensive performance and a tenacious defensive performance and a 93-58 victory. Star Caitlin Clark had a triple-double with 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Aaliyah Boston had 19 points and 13 boards, and Natasha Howard and Kelsey Mitchell both finished with 15 points apiece. Boston said it's just the start for the Fever.
But I think, like what we talked about in the locker room, is don't get comfortable. I mean, this is a great first win, but we have 43 more games to go. And so for us, it's just about making sure that we lock in, we rewatch the game, look at what we need to work on, get in the gym, and continue to work.
Indiana shot 46.7% from the field and held the Sky to 29.1% and forced 17 turnovers in the win. Angel Reese led the Sky with 12 points and had a game-high 17 rebounds. First-year head coach Stephanie White loved her team's defensive effort.
I thought we were disruptive. I thought we came with a level of physicality. Anytime you can keep a team in this league to under 20 points in quarters, I mean, that's important. They didn't get a lot of clean catch and looks. Look, it wasn't perfect, but we played through our deficiencies. We played through our lapses in coverage. We played through mismatches, and we played with multiple levels of effort, and that's what it takes.
The game was physical and chippy, as might be expected in a game between the Fever and the Sky. As championship contenders and the envy of the rest of the league, it appears it's something that the Fever are just going to have to get used to. Clark says the Fever aren't too concerned with all of their opponents' antics, and that she is focused on her own team and not what others do against them.
Yeah, I think we're just focused on ourselves. You prepare every single night. I think that's the great thing about this league, and also, you play and then you have a day and then you play again and then you have a day and you play again. You have to be able to flush things really fast. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You just got to stay right in the middle. So that's going to be the challenge for our group. Build from it, appreciate how we came out here and really played and competed tonight. But also, I felt like, I know we put up 93 points and still won by 30, but I felt like there was a lot of ways for us to still improve. And that's what's exciting too. And I think everybody's still hungry to go back to work and get better.
That is a scary proposition for the rest of the league. John Robertson, Michelle Garman, and I reviewed the season opener. Please go find that one. We'll do the same Tuesday night after the Fever host the Atlanta Dream in Game 2. That one will probably be out first thing Wednesday morning. The game tips at 7 and can be seen on MeTV Indianapolis locally and NBA TV nationally. It's going to be the Pacers and the New York Knicks for the Eastern Conference Championship for the fourth time in NBA history. The Knicks knocked out the world champion Celtics with a dominating 119-81 Game 6 victory on Friday to set up the Pacers and Knicks for the first time for the Eastern Conference Championship since 2000. The only year in franchise history the Pacers made the NBA Finals. New York and Indiana have played 8 times in the playoffs in the past, with the Pacers leading the all-time series 5-3, winning 5 of their last 6 series against the Knicks. The only loss in that time was the 1999 Larry Johnson bogus call that made the Knicks win the Eastern Conference Finals. I will never get over it. The Eastern Conference Finals begin Wednesday at 8 in Madison Square Garden. The series will go every other day through 7 games if necessary. Games 3, 4, and 6 are scheduled for Indianapolis. The Knicks are slightly less than 2-1 favorites in the series and 4.5-point favorites in Game 1. 2025 title favorite Oklahoma City survived a scare from Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets with a 125-93 Game 7 victory Sunday in Oklahoma City. The Thunder will have a quick turnaround starting the Western Finals in Oklahoma City Tuesday at 8:30 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who dispatched of the Golden State Warriors in 5 games, winning the Final 4. Thunderwolves will also go every other night, with all 7 games airing on ESPN or ABC. Oklahoma City is a 7.5-point favorite in game 1. John Robertson and I will continue to break down the NBA playoffs through the conference finals and the finals on the NBA playoffs report with John Robertson. Reigning Stanley Cup champion Florida came from 3 games to 1 down to beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in 7 games with a 6-1 victory Sunday in Toronto. The Panthers will defend their Eastern Conference title against the Carolina Hurricanes, who blew past top seed Washington in 5 games in their semifinal series. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference final is Tuesday at 8 on TNT and the Max app. In the West, it'll be the Edmonton Oilers against the Dallas Stars. The Stars closed out their series Saturday with a 2-1 win over the Jets in Game 6. Defending Western Conference champion Edmonton has been idle since last Wednesday when they eliminated Vegas 4 games to 1. The Western Conference final begins Wednesday at 8 on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Scotty Scheffler won his 3rd major championship Sunday by holding off John Rahm in the PGA Championships at Quail Hollow in Charlotte. In college baseball, IU finished out its regular season by winning 2 out of 3 at Michigan. The Hoosiers finished the Big Ten slate 16-14 for 6th place in the conference. They will be in Pool C in the Big Ten tournament this week with Iowa and Rutgers. They'll face Rutgers at 3 on Tuesday and Iowa at 3 on Friday, with a spot in the Big Ten Final Four on the line. The entire tournament can be seen on Big Ten Network. Oklahoma State beat IU twice, 11-6 and 16-8 in the Fayetteville softball regional over the weekend. The Hoosiers also beat St. Louis 4-2 on Saturday. Host Arkansas won the regional, advanced to the Super Regional, where they will face Ole Miss. Also advancing to the Super Regionals is Florida State, Texas Tech, UCLA, South Carolina, Oregon, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Clemson, Tennessee, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Liberty, which took out number 1 Texas A&M in the regional at College Station. We move to high school sports and start on the golf course, where Tipton beat Twin Lakes by a stroke to win the Hoosier Conference Championship Saturday at Bear Slide. Tipton shot an 18-hole round of .335, led by individual champion Preston Lancaster 77. Calvin Condick shot an 82 for the Devils. Western finished 4th and Hamilton Heights 6th. Eastbrook won the team championship with a very impressive 18-hole score of 307 at Alexandria on Saturday. Eastbrook's Aaron Folda won the individual crown with a 68, and his teammate Landon Tropf was second. Mrs. Sinowal was second as a team, led by Dane Horn 79. Oak Hill finished 4th and Frankton 5th. Trent Nelson shot a 77 to finish 3rd overall for Oak Hill. Frankton was led by Ryder Shepard in 85 shots. Rossville won the Hoosier Heartland title by 10 strokes over Clinton Prairie Saturday at Angel Hill. Tri-Central finished 3rd and was led by Tanner England with an 85. Sheridan finished 4th. Pendleton Heights won the 5th player tiebreaker with Shelbyville to take the Hoosier Heritage Championship Saturday at TPC in Yorktown. Shelbyville's Logan Tobian was the conference champion with a round of 74, 2 shots better than the Pendleton Heights duo of Ryan Davis and Vance Jarvis and Mount Vernon's Elijah Lemon. Yorktown was 5th as a team and was led by Marshall Johnston and Nate Shaw-Duresh, who both shot 78, which was tied for 6th overall. LaPel shot a .332 and finished 6th against a very tough field at the Franklin Invitational. Maverick Beeson led the way for the Bulldogs with a 12th place finish in 79 strokes. Center Grove won the team event with a .301, 11 shots better than runners-up Carmel and host Franklin. In high school baseball, Frankton beat Eastern Hancock 10-4. Jarrett Morris had 3 RBIs. Braden Peters and Jaden Clem both drove in 2 runs each. It's the 4th win in the last 5 games for 11-8 Frankton. Eastbrook swept Hamilton Heights in a doubleheader, 9-3 and 8-5. Kyler Hackman had 5 RBIs on the day, and Eastbrook is now 14-10. Oak Hill finished 3rd at the Miami County Invitational. They lost to North Miami 12-11, then beat McConaughey 13-12, ending the game on a bases-loaded walk. Elwood lost 2 games in a split doubleheader, 15-2 to Rochester and 5-4 to Twin Lakes. LaPel beat Kokomo both ends of a doubleheader, 13-0 and 11-5. Darrell Guston had a double, 3 runs and 3 RBIs on the day. LaPel is now 23-1. Leo and Mrs. Cinewall split a doubleheader. Leo won the opener 15-0. Mrs. Cinewall scored 7 times in the bottom of the 7th to win the second game 11-0. The Indians are now 11-10 on the year. Delta beat Yorktown 10-0 to win the Delaware County Championship Saturday after beating Cowan 16-3 on Friday. Yorktown beat Daleville 19-0 in Friday's semifinals. Pendleton Heights finished runner-up in the Evansville North Invitational. First, the Arabians beat Princeton 11-5 before losing 9-1 to the host Huskies. Pendleton Heights is now 13-8. Lafayette Jeff swept Marion in a doubleheader, 14-1 and 4-3 in 8 innings. Ryan Berryman won his 400th game as Western's head coach with a doubleheader sweep of North Putnam, 6-3 and 20-1. Western is now 21-4. Northwestern beat Carroll 18-2. Hayden Cook went 3 for 3 with a double, 3 runs, and 5 RBIs for 17-5 Northwestern. And Taylor scored 7 times in the second and won its first game of the season, 13-3 over Purdue Broad Ripple. In high school softball, Jay County beat Madison Grant 12-10 to win the Argyle Invitational at Madison Grant. Brenna Rubel had 4 RBIs, and Morgan Missiano went 3 for 4 with 2 runs for the Patriots. Madison Grant beat Cowan 14-1 in the first round. McKenna Craig allowed just 3 hits and 1 run and struck out 4 for 17-7 Madison Grant. Oak Hill had 24 hits on the day and swept Southwood 10-3 and 4-3 in a doubleheader. Oak Hill's now 16-5. Elwood went 1-1 at the Chittard Invitational, losing 4-1 to the host Trojans in the opener, then beating Lawrence Central 11-10 in 9 innings. And that one, Sadie Copus was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, and Kelsey Arms was 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs, and an RBI. Chittard won the Invitational. McConaughey beat Blackford 14-4. Blakely Buman was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs. South Adams swept Eastbrook in a doubleheader and 2 close ones, 4-3 and 6-3. Hamilton Heights went 1-1 at the Greenfield Central Cougar Classic, beating Garin Catholic 4-1 before losing to the host Cougars in the championship 3-1. Hamilton Heights is now 11-10 and has lost 5 of its last 6. Shenandoah beat LaPel 2-0 behind Olivia Hinesley's 2 RBI single in the 7th and Olivia Watson's complete game 3-hit shutout. She had 9 strikeouts. Shenandoah is now 13-3. Reigning Class 2A state runner-up LaPel is 18-6. Pendleton Heights went 1-1 at the Avon round robin, beating Avon 11-8 and losing to Silver Creek 6-5. Brindley Holden had 5 RBIs on the day for 11-14 Pendleton Heights. Kokomo swept a North Central Conference split doubleheader with Marion and Anderson to improve to 5-0 in the North Central Conference. They beat Marion 11-1 and Anderson 11-0. Now have a game lead on Jeff at the top of the standings. Jeff beat Anderson 13-3 and Marion out 17-6 on Saturday. Newcastle beat Daleville 8-3. Emily Simmons was 2 for 4 with 2 runs for 13-6 Daleville. Peru topped Eastern 11-8 despite Marley Cohn's another incredible performance, 3 for 5 with a double, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs for the Comets. And Southern Wells swept Liberty Christian in a doubleheader 11-1 and 14-2. And on the high school track, Oak Hill senior Janessa Shields won the discus at Saturday's Bluffton's Thrower Showcase with a toss of 113 feet. Yorktown's Maren Gressler was 3rd, and Delta's Ruth Shirk was 6th. Gessler finished 2nd in the shot put to Heritage's Alexa Walter with a toss of 35 7.5 inches. Shields was 3rd, and Shirk was 5th. Yorktown's Ephraim Eller finished 3rd in the boy shot put at the showcase. Eller went 51 6.25 inches and was 3rd behind Cherubusco's Weston Ott and Heritage's Charlie Riddle. Madison Grant's Rosen White was 4th in the discus with a toss of 148-10. Ott won both events. And Shenandoah won its first ever Mideastern Conference Girls Track and Field Championship Haley Hughes won the shot put and the discus for the Raiders. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Just a reminder, we are moving the Central Indiana Scoreboard show to 5 a.m. starting next week. It will also be 7 days a week, at least through the summer, hopefully beyond. Thanks for listening. Always appreciate it. Please share this with your friends and family. We humbly appreciate you in advance. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.